as a layperson, right? When I look in that space, I mean, I think there's so many metaverses, right? Everyone's building, their own thing. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, the biggest right now is what is it? Is it Decentraland? I'm
Mm-hmm.
not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how do you think this is going to play out in the end? I mean, right now it's a bit of a wild west, it's a bit of a land grab, but
Yeah,
what is the end game going to look like?
I think the end game is gonna look like our cosmos right now. So it's gonna be infinite, right? We have so many different galaxies, different planets, different stars. You don't even know how many, more than the sand that we have on Earth, right? I don't know how many will actually exist in the end, survive in the end, but I think that there will be a lot, multiple metaverses, because just picture it as one metaverse is an ideal world that a community builds together, right? So, for example, if you have a game like say Half-Life, and that is a world where you go shooting and shooting for a living, and you live in that kind of world, so you have that experience. But in another world, like Player One, right, you have different experiences, and different platforms, different metaverses provide different experience to the participants. um, so I think that it depends on the builders and the communities, what they want to build, and how much they can attract people to join their community that makes them survive and exist in the future. And that will be, as many as we can imagine and build.
Wow, so everyone can coexist harmoniously together. David, any thoughts? Sorry,
Yeah,
did you?
I think what we're also going to see is we're going to see developers crossing platforms and building services that are transient across platforms. So one of the things that I think we have to think about, we tend to think of identity in its singular form. And one of the possibilities that the metaverse opens up is we as individuals can have multiple identities in the metaverse. So it's very critical that many of the services that are being built out can operate cross-platform. I guess counter to that, the media is obviously speculating very heavily that Apple, for example, may be shortly to release its own VR headset and possibly a closed ecosystem like they tend to do. Now, remains to be seen if that's actually true, but they do have a knack of perfecting the experience. So to what extent they can feed off their phenomenal ecosystem to launch more of a private metaverse, that's going to be interesting to watch that play out. So again, for us in the insurance industry, that opens up other interesting possibilities for cyber protection, or a complete rethink of what identity protection means. We know in the industry today, a lot of that cyber product is very much geared towards businesses. It's not necessarily ubiquitous as a consumer product. And we've got to think through what that means in the context of multiple identities, and potentially multiple identities in multiple metaverses.
Wow. Yeah, pretty much. I guess what Nikita was saying is, well, everyone can just. There could be an infinite number of them, essentially. Hugh, any thoughts around this?
Yeah, so I think definitely the guys explained it extremely well. Obviously, what we're seeing right now is all the titans of the world, like David mentioned, whether it be Apple, Meta, Alphabet, all these guys are pouring so much money and funds into this. But I think a big part of it as well is obviously Web3 embodies decentralization. That's like the key word. And, just because of the way that each of us are wired, whether it be institution, education, even family upbringing, it's always going to be like put us, the focus is always going to be on us first before anyone else. And obviously that's unfortunate, but that's just the way, life is. Obviously we hope that, the idea right now, because of Web3 and the blockchain technology, that people, there could be that one platform where, builders are all building towards a common goal. But I think that would actually take a lot of time, probably not in our generation, but I think the generation of tomorrow, we could actually be seeing that. And the reason why I say that is, I look at whether it be my nieces, whether it be even my friends' kids, I think the first thing, the way that they consume information is very, very different from how our generation, we consume information. So I think first up, an example would be like my friend's son. He refuses to answer his any messages via WhatsApp, but it's only via Discord. Like if you want to talk to him, it's only via Discord.
Sorry, by Discord. Okay.
It's a communication tool used very widely within the
space. I know Discord. I'm just surprised that WhatsApp is out now. It feels like it wasn't so long ago when it was the in thing, and now it's out. Oh, I'm sorry. What a filthy, what a dinosaur I am.
And I think even secondly as well, like to speak about all these metaverses, right? Like Roblox is obviously a big one, like popular among a lot of young kids. And that is the way that, they used to meet friends. They play games on Roblox. That's what we're seeing. So I think the idea here as well is that it's just a matter of time that, people, I think generation tomorrow would understand this a lot better. And obviously as a business, wanting to constantly stay relevant, I think, keeping all eyes on this space as well is going to be very, very important.
Yeah, that's a great point.